Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 19th. It is 6:21 right now. We got market opening up in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up marking liquidity up here and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right. Spin. Spin. Going down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15 minute. 10 minute. And back down to the 1 minute here. So, all right, guys, looks like we are good to go. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 19th. It is 6:23 right now. We have market opening up in about 7 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here. The volatility is extremely low right now. It's currently at 6 ATR or 7 ATR. Overall direction of market structure here is currently bullish. You can see here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 30, 1 hour, everything is bullish aside from the 4 hour, which is currently neutral. Looking over here at the overall trend, everything is bullish as well for the most part. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green. Pivots are angling to the upside. So with that said, we're mainly going to be looking for some buys today, guys. We'll see what happens here in a few when market opens up. But right now, the market structure is very bullish and the volatility is very low. It's currently at 6 ATR. So we'll see what happens in a few. Um, Once the market starts to actually move. But let's see who's here so far. Morning, David. Morning, Maria. Morning, Lila. Morning, Steven. Morning, everybody. Looks like people are still making their way in. So we will continue to take a look at this, and then we'll kind of play by ear once the market here is finally opened up. Got some structure right here. Higher low. Some more structure down here. And some more structure down here. All right, so I've marked up pretty much all of the, for the most part, relevant structure. There's a bit more structure up here as well. Um, Slightly above, and I think like one more up here probably. All right, looks good. A little messy, but I will clean it up as price continues to move along over here. All right, looks good. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 19th. It is 6:26 right now. We got market opening up in about 4 minutes. If you guys are just joining in, we've marked up liquidity over here. Market volatility was extremely low and it's starting to pick up now as market gets closer to market open. It was currently at 6 ATR. Now it's up to almost 8 ATR. Overall direction of market structure here is bullish. Overall direction of trend here is bullish aside from the 1 minute, which is now starting to shift bearish. With that being said, we're probably going to be looking for some buys today. For the most part, looking at my daily outlook, it's currently overall market bias is slightly bullish with medium conviction. Fundamentals lean neutral to bullish. Fed is dovish, strong tech earnings, soft yields. While technicals are outright bullish but flashing overbought signals. Together, the bias is slightly bullish with a medium conviction. So expect an upward drift with potential chop around catalysts. So with that being said, probably gonna be looking for some buys here. But we will be waiting for market to stabilize once it opens up here. So, if you get that manipulation to the downside, then, maybe wait for it to correct back up. We really don't know until we know, right? We have to like kind of wait and see how the market here moves on open. But that's kind of what we're going to be looking for. So we got market opening up in about 3 minutes, guys. You can see our price is kind of in a bit of a chop as it goes back and forth right here down the middle. We're hoping that price breaks out of this area and has some directional push. Looking at the news for today. So today we do have the Fed speaking later at 11 o'clock. We had this morning housing starts, building permits month over month, and housing starts for July. So at 5:30, we had news which came out as a bit mixed, some bullish, some bearish, and that's what happened over here. What caused price to kind of push up from this point. So news happened right here. I'll mark up the news price. And we got market opening up in 2 minutes, guys. So we'll know the direction of the momentum breakout shortly. Looks like it's going to be a sell for today. But overall bias here is bullish. So what you might want to see is look for price to come down and then swing right back up. So initial drop to the downside and then correction right back up. Unless we get a buy signal on this current candle, it's not looking like that's going to happen. So no buy signal there. We have a sell signal here. So the momentum breakout for today is supposed to be a sell. However, I think market here is going to be bullish. Over here, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, bullish market structure. And we'll see what happens here shortly. Trend's also bullish. And my daily outlook is also bullish as well. Morning, Steven. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market's gonna open up shortly. I will be waiting for here for market open. We got market opening up in about 20 seconds. Like I said earlier, we have price kind of dropping down right here. This could be a temporary push to the downside, and then after that, maybe a correction back up. But right now, that's kind of what we have at the moment, and we will play this out as market opens up shortly. We got 10 seconds till market open. We got 5 seconds till market open. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. We've got this right here. I'll mark this up as an opening price. Like I said, our overall directional bias for today is pretty much bullish for the most part. The ATR is really low right now, so you might just get price going back and forth for a little bit until the volatility picks up. So we got price pushing up right here. That's doing pretty much what we expected. We're looking for that bullish push to the upside. But like I said, price can easily be manipulated to the downside before it swings right back up, right? So, or it can just shoot directly up. Everything's bullish, so I'm not really looking to take sells here for the moment. Probably for the whole day. Mainly going to be looking for some buys here. So let's go back over here to the orb. So the orb right here, starting to set up. We got the orb low right here at 45, 48. I'm going to be looking for that orb high right here. All right, first candle is done. Once this candle over here closes, we'll have the orb behind the orb low. Like I said, I'm going to be mainly looking for buys here because the overall direction is pretty much bullish. We have bullish market structure. We have bullish trend over here on the 1, 5, 15, also on the 30, 1 hour, and 4 hours. So I'm mainly going to be looking for some buys here if that's the case. So if this is the case here, it looks like our orb high is going to be at 45, 104. Right here. If you guys want to take it for a sell, I mean, feel free. Overall direction is looking like a buy though. So if we do get a sell here, probably not going to be taking it. I'll be looking for follow-up entries with the high-low break and retest. So 45,104, I'm pretty much set on buys here with regard to the orb. But if you guys do want to take the sell, I mean, feel free. Yeah, the sell option right here at 45.48. So orb low right here, 45.48, orb high at 45,104. I'm going to watch the price action here. So we got a rejection right here off the orb low. Again, you want price to break and close below that. You need price to break and close below that before you start looking for that entry. So again, orb low right here is at 45.48, orb high is at 45,104. I'm mainly looking for a buy here, so I'm gonna look for price to push up, break and close, and continue up higher. I'm gonna look at the price action here. I want price to actually break past it pretty nicely and cleanly, retrace, and continue on higher. If we get that set up where it keeps, coming around, testing, 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 and then finally breaks above, then I'm probably not going to take that because, like I said, the volatility here is extremely low right now. We're currently at 15 ATR. We got 10 seconds left on this candle. Again, if it closes below here, this could be your orb low. Yeah, price is going to close below here, so your entry is going to be right here at 45.48, guys. I'm going to sit out on this because, like I said, my overall bias for today is pretty bullish. There's two different options here. You can either enter right away on this candle close, or you can wait for the retest. So you're looking for price retest right here at 45.48. Your pending limit order would be sitting right there. And if price pushes past this area, you would cancel it. So it's now filled. I'm not in this position. Like I said, I'm looking for buys here mainly because the overall direction here is still very bullish, right? Market structure here is bullish. Trend is bullish. So sells here don't look very appetizing to me. So I'm not really going to take this. If you guys want to take it, it's currently active. Again, I'm not in this position. I'll just follow it for you guys here. I'm not going to fade your position or your entry, but I'm going to consider this very risky because everything's very bullish right now. So what's looking like is happening here is a fake out and pull back into the range. So good thing I skipped that entry there because look, that would have stopped me out, right? It's doing pretty much what I expected. I said expect the market manipulation to the bottom right here and then correction back up. So no orb for me today. I'll continue looking for the next opportunity. The momentum breakout looks like it's still running. So momentum breakout is still running for the day so far. Just really hoping we get that orb today, but it's okay. Volatility is pretty low still, or it's picking up now. We're currently at 18 ATR. I don't know why the ATR over here is 25. That's weird. 25 ATR. Okay, never mind. It's 18. So with that being said, guys, no entries for me yet so far. Again, I'm going to be looking for price to push back above here and continue up higher. We're currently in a range right now, so there's not really too much going on. We have a market structure range right here where price is kind of just going back and forth between this resistance and this support. It is just going back and forth between this area. So this is the midpoint right here. I could probably clean this up a little bit. You guys can see the market structure right here is pretty obvious. Rejection from here, swing back down. Rejection from here, swing back up. Looks like we're getting sweeps in both ends over here. So I'll just put that market structure back up. Or I'll leave it out. It's not there anymore. So it looks like we pretty much got sweeps on both ends over here. So we got a sweep from up here. Price pretty much swept from this lower high. Came right back down. And then looks like we had a sweep from down here right back up. It's just a ranging market, guys. So there's not much here to take. As you guys can see, price just going back and forth, back and forth. Either direction of the orb here obviously was not going to be good because the market structure right now is pretty much sideways. We just have price going back and forth between these two areas right here. So what I'd like to see here is I'd like price to break above this structure and continue climbing up from there, right? It's kind of what I would be looking for here. So we got price pushing back up. The orb over here did not play out, but if you guys want to go for that upper orb above, this is the orb that I was actually looking for. Just kind of depends on your risk appetite. If you guys want to take that, I'd consider it a risky entry, but this would be the actual orb that I was looking for to close here. Again, right here, 45,104. For me, I don't take late entries like that. Once this here has been invalidated, I don't hop into the next one, but this is the entry that I was looking to take here. So the orb here is now currently pushing to the upside. But see here how price is faking out again? This is why I don't take late entries. Because it's basically faking out in both sides. It can basically wipe you out either way. So right here, price comes below, fake out, pull back inside. Price pushes above, fake out, pull back below. So it doesn't matter which direction you guys trade. You can trade above, get faked out, get stopped out this way. You can trade below, get faked out, get stopped out this way. So you guys can see here, it's like pretty obvious, not a good time to take trades. Price is just ranging between the orb right here down the middle. What I'm looking for here, what I want to see here is I want price to break above and stay above, right? Break above and stay above. Until we get that, not really looking to take any entries here yet so far. We do have structure here that's kind of wiped out again. Another sweep, which is basically came up right here. Right, another sweep. It just sweeps back and forth because price keeps getting flickered off these areas back and forth. I'm gonna clean this up a little more. Clean this up right here a little more as well. Clean this up. All right, so the thing here is we're getting this back and forth movement. Price still has not broken out of the structure, right? The same thing that I told you guys earlier. We're kind of stuck within this structure here, back and forth between here. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to break above this area and then hold above this area, right? Continue pushing up higher. Or if price breaks below, I'm gonna look for price to break below here and stay below here. Overall direction for bias is still very bullish. You can look over here at the market structure. It's bullish on the 1 minute, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour. Looking over here at the overall trend, it's still bullish right here on the 1, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour. Prices above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling up. This indicates that price is going to eventually push up, but right now it's kind of in this chop. It pretty much did that. It mentioned it in my daily outlook as well. So over here it says my overall market bias is slightly bullish, but it says over here that expect an upwards drift with potential chop around catalyst, which is exactly what's happening right now, right? The chop is happening, but expect an upwards drift. So eventually price is going to drift to the upside. You just got to be patient and wait for that to actually happen. So it's not time yet. So no need to get antsy or feel the need of FOMO or any of that stuff. Really just wait and eventually it'll happen. It's just a matter of time until it does. So we have a new higher high right here. This may be a possible opportunity for a high-low break and retest if this ends up establishing a low down here. Climbs back up, breaks above here, retests, and continues up higher, right? This is going to be at 45,117. So I'm going to put that number in my trading window right now, just in case if we do have that opportunity. I'm not entering any positions yet, but I'm going to be watching for this level right here just in case. Only thing here that I'm starting to see an issue from is that this is a very strong high. So this is a strong high, meaning that if price does get to this point, it may reject off here and sweep. There's no low here yet, so this can't be used yet, guys. Remember? So I'm looking for a low here. The low here was never established or set up. So since there's no low here, this high here, if price pushes past it, what's going to happen is price just going to push higher. So this here is going to disappear, this higher high label right here, and this is going to get pushed up higher. So I need to have a low here first. A low needs to establish down here before I can start using this higher high. So if you follow this, watch as price pushes higher. If it pushes past this high, this label is going to disappear and it's going to be invalidated and push higher. So I can't use this for a high-low break and retest yet. So look how price pushed up right there. It did exactly what I just mentioned, right? The higher high right there was invalidated, and now the higher high is right there. So the new level that I'll be looking for is going to be up here at 45,142. But this might get pushed up even higher. Again, right there, invalidated again. And the higher high is getting pushed up higher. So my analysis here is playing out. I just don't have any entries here right now. Um, Yeah, unfortunately, there's no entries for me right now. This is a possible MPSV2 setting up. We have a buy signal here, a retracement confirmation on this candle right here. So this is an MPSV2 entry. If you guys are following the market orders, this here would be an MPSV2 because this candle did break and close past the momentum. We had buy signal right there, retracement on this red candle, confirmation right here of continuation. And this here is a MPSV2. Not one that I would take yet because, like I said, I'm trying to take these limit orders, but there's no limit orders for me to place yet. All right, so we got pushed up even higher right here, 45,167. Hey Sam, morning. Visual said traded NQ today, got 60 points on 2-minute orb. Short side. Nice work, Visual. Yeah, Daniel said massive candle right here. I wouldn't take this for an MPSV2 because this candle is too big. If it retraces back at all, this candle here is a 60-point candle. So if it does retrace back, it's going to pull back at least 30 points, which would likely trigger stop loss before it reaches any higher points. So this higher high is getting pushed up higher again, looks like. If that's the case and this here pushes up higher, then I would just have to wait for the high to be established. But yeah, everything here is lining up exactly like we talked about. So my daily outlook for the day, if you guys haven't looked at my daily outlook, this is completely free and this was pretty much spot on. Right here, I pretty much posted this at like 6:20 or 6:10, so earlier this morning. I said expect the upward drift with potential chopper on catalyst. That's literally what happened here. We had the chop right here in the middle. Huge chop, big range, and then price finally drifted to the upside, which I was hoping to catch this drift to the upside. I was looking to get into some sort of entry here. There just wasn't any entry for me, right? So I'm not going to force a trade. I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to wait for this here to come back up. So what I'm looking for here next is I'm looking for price to come back down for retracement and then continuation right back up. And this week has been kind of all over the place. I was talking to people yesterday about this. I was hoping that we'd have more of a directional move for today so that we can ride this up higher, but it looks like there's been chop in both ends. Or below chop or high chop. This thing would have still flopped because it came down about 38 points before it shot all the way up. All right, let's see. Sam said 176 sweep approaching for me. So Sam's looking for a sweep at 176, which is going to be this higher liquidity level right here, this blue line. Yeah, I could see that being the case. There's a high over here. This high is at about a 69% strong or 69% strength of this high. So if this is the case, price may come up, sweep this area, and come right back down. Possibly. Not for sure, but possibly. All right. So it looks like the breakout hit for today, guys. There goes a breakout. Breakout hit for 100 points. 50 or 100 points, depending on what you guys decided to take here. So there's only one entry that came up today that was actually valid. The only valid entry that came up for today so far is the momentum breakout. So momentum breakout over here swung to the upside. Everything else has just kind of been, I mean, it's been starting to set up for entries, but not exactly any confirmations here. So now that we have this here set up, we have this higher high, which is going to be the next target level for me to look out for. So 45, 170. 172 is going to be my next catalyst right here. What I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to look for price to break and close above this area, retest it, and continue up higher from here. So 44,172 is going to be my catalyst for buy entry. We'll see what happens. I don't have any other news events for today, so there's no other catalysts to really push price around. Everything's pretty much done. We had the news this morning at 5:30, and other than that, not much else. I know Sam's gonna be looking for a sweep over there, so we'll kind of see. Well, I mean, we'll take a look, and if it sets up for an entry there, then possible opportunity to take. But if not, I'm not gonna force anything here. All right, so price is still coming down lower. Looks like we might get a bit of some consolidation range here before price continues up higher. But I'm looking for price to push above here, break past the higher high, retest, and climb up higher. So I'll leave this alone for now until the low is actually established. It's just not there yet. Right. So there's a fair value gap right here for those of you who like to look at fair value gaps. Price is currently in the fair value gap right now. So let's see the gap right here from this candle to this candle. Price pushed up. It's retesting the fair value gap. We'll see here. There's one of two things that's going to happen. Price either bounces off the gap here, comes right back up, and then we look for entry, or price invalidates this gap and heads back down to open. Right? So I don't trade gaps, but I'm using that as a confluence here. Either price bounces off here and we have an opportunity for a high-low break and retest above here, or price invalidates this gap and comes right back down to open. So for me, not taking the gap as an actual entry or catalyst, I'm just looking at it as a continuation movement. So again, if you guys are not familiar with that, I mean, you guys can look it up. I don't trade for value gaps, but I do know how to identify it. So although I don't trade certain strategies, I do know how majority of things do work with trading. Because I've been trading for so long that even though fair value gaps have just became more popular recently, they've been around forever, right? They weren't even called fair value gaps before, they were called imbalances. So, I mean, people come up with these names and make it seem like it's something new, but it's not. It's been there. So we got price pushing back up from here. And the same thing with the fair value gap is kind of similar to my analysis of the big candle, right? So like I've told you guys this before, whenever a big candle comes up like this, expect price to come back and retrace to the halfway mark. Once it retraces to the halfway mark, look for it to either continue up higher or look for it to fully reverse. So it's the same thing as a fair value gap concept, except I simplify it and I just look at it as a big candle and I look for a retracement like it's doing right here. So we got price pushing up. My possible opportunity for entry is going to be right here at 45,172 for high-low break and retest. Here's a problem here. We have a pending high. So if this here establishes as a new high, this here is going to be irrelevant because we're looking for the most recent high, right? There's a pending high here, but this is the actual most recent established high. So this here is just going to keep getting pushed up. If we don't get a new low here and price pushes up higher past this area, this here is going to disappear. This label is going to disappear, this lower high, and it's going to get pushed up higher. So we'll see. Looks like here price is just going to sit in this middle area for now, which is fine. That's kind of just that's where I'm anticipating to sit. My overall direction here is still very bullish. Bullish over here on the 1, 5, 15, 30 minute, 1 hour, all bullish market structure. Still all bullish trend here, 1, 5, 10 or 1, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour. So I'm still set on buys. Let's see. Sam said he's watching 120, 108 zone for buy, but needs confirmation. Sam bought at 132. Okay, solid. So Sam bought over here at 132. He basically caught the sweep. Tricky sweep though, because price here is just consolidating. But yes, I do see this as a nice bounce area, of course. He caught in at the doji right there. Solid. All right. Just be patient, guys. There's no need to force anything here. We're still early in the week. It's Tuesday. So we still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to go. The last thing you want to do is make a mistake that you regret, because we all know what happens in these types of markets, right? In a sideways market like this is where FOMO basically hits you the most, right? You usually don't get FOMO when prices going directional. You get FOMO when prices going sideways. Because you'll see this big push, and you're like, oh, I should have got in right here, should have got in right there, etc. But when realistically, there's no entry there. For me, I don't have anything until price pushes past this area, right? So I don't really care right now. I don't care what's happening right here down the middle. I'm watching it, but I don't care. Like, I'm not looking to take any buys or sells here at the moment. Unless you guys are looking for sweeps, then okay, great. Look for a sweep at some point here, but I'm not looking for any sweeps here. So, all right, Sam got out of that position there. Did you get out at break even, Sam, or you got out for profit? Hopefully some profit at least. So again, price is still sitting within the gap, guys. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a fair value gap here or an imbalance. I'll just call it imbalance. I prefer to call it imbalance versus fair value gap. Like I'm trying to keep my words like as far away from ICC concepts as possible. I don't want to call anything with what they call it. I'd like to keep very simple. So I'll just say, yeah, price is still within the imbalance right here. So again, I'm looking for price to push out of the imbalance, come up here, break and retest, and continue up higher. So we'll keep watching here. If we get a new low here that establishes, it's going to invalidate this high. And unfortunately, we won't be able to look at this for a high-low break and retest. But we'll see. We'll continue to follow here and we'll see what happens next. I'm not predicting or forecasting anything here. I'm kind of just waiting for the market to present my opportunities, and then I pick and choose from what shows on the chart. Right now, I don't see anything. Price here is just ranging, consolidating around the imbalance, which is good. So here, when price starts to squeeze, after a squeeze happens, a breakout happens, right? So I'm okay with this here because this is starting to get tighter and tighter. It was a big range, and now it's turning into a tight range. And eventually it's going to break above or it's going to break below, right? Same pattern that we talked about yesterday. Um, it's just a matter of being patient and being consistent, just waiting for the opportunities to present themselves. ATR is currently at 21 right now. There's no catalyst for the day. Next news event is at 11. So at 11, we have Fed Bowman speaking, but other than that, there's no other news event. So price here may stay a bit flat until 11 o'clock. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, we're gonna keep analyzing and identify whatever comes up next, but we just don't have anything here yet. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. My overall market structure right now is pretty bullish. You can see over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 30, and 1 hour, all bullish. Looking at my other screeners over here, everything is looking very bullish as well. Looking at my overall trend here, everything is bullish as well, right? So I'm only looking for buys right now. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute prices above the pivots. Trend meters green. Pivots are angling to the upside. This indicates that right here on the shorter time frames, we're looking for buys, of course. Also looking at the higher time frames, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, same thing here. Prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling to the upside. So right here, you can see across the board, there's no reason to look for sells right now, unless you're going to be fading the market. If you want to fade the market, feel free, but I wouldn't really go against such a strong upwards trend. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take this off right here. Like I said, if there's a new low that establishes or comes up, there is a new low right here, higher low. This higher high is no longer going to be the level that I'll be looking for. The next level is going to be right here, but I don't like this level. It's too low. right? Because I don't want to get caught in this chop right here. So I'm not really going to look for a high-low break and retest right here. I would have wanted a high-low break and retest up here. So we'll keep following it. I mean, I'm going to keep following market structure here. New structure is being developed and produced, by the minute. So you can see over here, this here is just creating a smaller and tighter range. Initially, we had this big range. Now we have a smaller range, and it can get smaller and smaller and smaller until it breaks out, right? Until it breaks out. So just be patient. There's two things here that may happen. If price breaks below, it's going to come back down to open, which is not too far. It's a 60-point move. Or if price breaks above, we have more open space here. Price breaks above, you can go anywhere. You can go all the way up to here. There's liquidity sitting up here. So upwards potential here is a lot more ideal versus the downwards potential. Because if price does push down to this area, we start to have red flags, right? Price pushes down here. We have the sessions right here, New York high, London high. Then if price pushes any lower, we have Asia high right here. So we do have structure and targets down below if price does come below, but right now I'm not really looking for that to happen. Looking for a consistency above and higher because everything here is just very bullish. Yeah, Sam said still a bit of imbalance left. Yeah, price is still within the imbalance right here, guys. So I mean, this can easily just charge up and then shoot straight up because the imbalance hasn't been invalidated yet, right? Like I said, price is within this imbalance right here. So there's two things that can happen from this imbalance. Price is either going to charge up from here and correct back to the upside, or if this imbalance gets invalidated and it comes down, it'll come down to the opening price. So everything here is all correlated, right? We're not really this isn't a random area where price is just sitting. Price is sitting within the imbalance. Right, this was a resistance, and then on top of that resistance, we had this huge green candle, which created an imbalance. Price just spiked up. So there's two things that are going to happen. Price is either going to continue up to the upside, or it's going to invalidate this imbalance and come back down. I mean, who knows? We really don't know until it happens. So not taking anything here yet. I'm going to keep following it. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We have a bit of a dead market right now, so it's okay if you guys do have questions. Otherwise, we're just going to sit tight. 7 o'clock right now. It's going to be the open of the next 1 hour candle. This is a good sign. I like waiting for the 1 hour candle because you typically get some catalyst here. And here's a catalyst as price starts to drop low. The imbalance is broken, but it has not closed yet. So I would need to see a candle close below this blue line right here. If it closes below this blue line, the imbalance is going to be invalidated. Right now, it's being tested, but has not been invalidated yet. This could be a possible sweep and then back up. But this is the low end of the imbalance. Yeah, so no close yet. Right, this here can just push right back up. Clean this up right here. Nice. Okay, so Sam over here got in from the imbalance rejection. It's a nice wick right there. Wicked off the imbalance, and it's going to pull right back up. Nice work, Sam. Don't know how far you're pushing for. 30 points right there just got hit. So this is why it's important that you guys understand how to read market structure, right? Like this could have easily been missed, but like I said, me and Sam are looking over here at the imbalance. Price pushed up, retraced to this imbalance area, and it's still stuck within this area. So for me, I don't like to speculate within the imbalance. I want to confirm price break past it and actually push up further. All right, cool. Sam's out. He got a quick 25 points off that imbalance spike. Very risky, but as long as you know what you're looking for, it'll help you get these quick scalps. For me, I don't look for any risky entries. I'm looking for anything here that's more on the conservative side. Okay, so this here could be the level for high-low break and retest, guys. 45,163. What I'm looking for right here, though, is I'm looking for the price to actually close above this area. So if this candle closes above this area, this will be above the imbalance, right? So this will be above the imbalance. I'll be looking for price to basically close above this area and then push up higher, past this higher, this lower high. So I'd like it to close above. If it does, then great. I'm going to be looking for possible opportunities here for entry. Overall direction here is very bullish. Bullish across all the time frames now. So I'm going to be looking for a possible high-low break and retest above this area right here, 45,163. This here has to actually close above it because I can't have it kind of bouncing back and forth. I need it to close above it, and I'll be looking to put my limit order right here at 45,163. But I need it to actually close. So it can't be bouncing back and forth between this line. I need to actually close above it, and I'll be looking for that retest. All right, we got 20 seconds left on this candle right here. I think this is not going to come back and retest. It's pretty much spiked up a little too high. Um, yeah, I don't know if this is going to retest this area, guys. It's too far up. If you guys want to take it, your limit order will be right here at 45,163. It has to fill on the next candle. So my analysis here is playing out perfect. Like I said, we're looking for this to break out of the imbalance. It's finally pushing up. This candle would have to retrace on this very candle right here. It's not looking like it's going to happen, so I'm not going to bother putting a limit order here. This candle has about 40 seconds left on it. So I'm probably have to wait for the next opportunity. I'm just being patient, guys, being patient, following my trading plan for the day. My entries are just not coming up. I mean, they're coming up, but they're not filling. So I'm looking at this right here. Again, if this here doesn't pull back, which it's probably not going to, just no entry there for me, unfortunately. This could be setting up for a high-low break and retest, or sorry, not a high-low break and retest. This could be setting up for an MPSV2 though. So that's gonna be one thing to look out for. All right, so unfortunately, guys, no fill right there. So again, my setup and my criteria here, it restarts. Now I'm looking for the next opportunity for entry. So unfortunately, nothing here for me. My analysis here is playing out perfectly though, like I said. So if we go back to my daily outlook for the day, again, expecting upwards drift after a potential chop. We had the chop right here, upwards drift, right? So chop here, upwards drift, chop here, upwards drift. So the overall directional, overall bias for today from a market outlook is pretty much spot on. Overall direction has been bullish from this morning, even like when price was down here. Market structure was bullish, trend was bullish. So I'm still only looking for buys here. Clean this up a little bit. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Yeah, not much else. All right, so let me see. I think there's a couple of questions over here. So let's see, Simon's asking, how long are you usually looking for positions? I'm usually trading between 6:30 and 8. Same schedule every day. That's my edge in the market. I trade market open up until 8 o'clock. Usually I try to get my trades in by 7, but obviously there's no entries here for me yet so far. I try to get in for a breakout or I try to get in for some continuation moves here, but there just wasn't anything for me to take here specifically, so I haven't taken anything yet. Um, I mean, there's been opportunities here. It depends on which strategy you're looking for. For the main strategies, part of my daily playbook. So my daily playbook over here, I'm mainly looking for the high-low break and retest and the 2-minute momentum orb. Unfortunately, this here did not come up for the day, so I didn't take that. And then the high-low break and retest. There's an MPSV2 setting up right here. So for my directional strategies, there's two of them that you can apply or that we typically look to apply, either a limit order or a market order. I try to stay away from market orders, so I'm mainly looking for high-low break and retest. There hasn't been any opportunities kind of fill for the day, but they've been coming up. So, I'm just following my trading plan here, not going off track, just kind of sticking to what I'm looking for. And there's another imbalance right here as well. So another imbalance, which is it's a smaller imbalance, but it's still right here. There's an imbalance. So like price here can either come back and retest it, or price can break below and invalidate it. It's not a big imbalance, not like the one from earlier. This was a big one. Actually, yeah, that is the imbalance, the most recent one. Oh, it actually retested it already. So I'm looking over here at this red candle. So it broke past it right here, retested, and then it bounced back up. This is an MPSV2, which is currently running for a buy right now. Again, not one that I'm necessarily looking to take, but one that's active. Refresh my chart real quick. I feel like my chart is so I was trying to use the undo button, but the undo button wasn't showing there. Let me see this here. Okay, the undo button is working now. All right, so we have a new high right here. This is going to be the next area where I'll be looking to take opportunities for entry. This new higher high has been established. So the new high here is going to be at 45,236. 45,236 right there. Price is currently retesting the imbalance that I just mentioned earlier, right here. So retest of the imbalance. If price pushes past this area, possible opportunity above. If price pushes below this area, possible invalidation and continuation lower. Let's see, next question over here is from Elad. Elad's asking, how do you know where's liquidity? I mark up liquidity over here based off these high lows that are untested. So I'm not sure when you got onto the live session a lot, but I marked up liquidity this morning. So if you want to go back and replay the live session, pretty much every live session in the beginning, the first thing I do in the morning is mark up liquidity. In order for me to identify those, I mark up these high lows that have not been tested. So like, for example, this low right here has been tested, so it's no longer liquidity, right? But this higher high has been untested. That's why it's marked up with the blue line, which is liquidity. Same with this one down here. We have a lower low. This is marked up as liquidity. Same with this lower low. Same with these lower lows over here, these higher lows. Basically, any of these lows or highs that are untested, they're identified as liquidity. The reason for that is because typically people like to place their stop losses at the swing low or the swing high, right? So if that's the case, like for example here, someone who entered a sell right here, where would they place their stop loss? They would place their stop loss at the swing high, which is going to be right here, right? That's why I have this marked up as liquidity. Vice versa, someone here who entered a buy, say for example, someone entered a buy right here, right? Where are they going to place their stop loss? At the swing low right here. So that's liquidity for the opposite direction. So that's how I mark up liquidity right there. I use the high-low indicator. Basically, untested high lows is where I mark up liquidity. They're not all going to be, they're not all equal, but they're all going to be used as possible opportunities and areas for price to likely grab liquidity, right? So for example, if price, like I said earlier, if someone entered a sell right here and their stop loss is right here, if price does push up any higher, it's going to go for a stop hunt, grab their liquidity, and then possibly come back down. Or it can grab their liquidity and push up to the next level of liquidity right there. So there's always going to be two scenarios. Whenever you guys analyze anything, you're either going to be wrong or you're going to be right, right? So there's two scenarios. Either your analysis is right or someone else who analyzes against your analysis is going to be right. So that's why it's always key to understand two different sides of the coin. A lot of people want to just stick with one side of the coin, but realistically, you have to see things from a different lens, right? See things from your lens, but also see things from the opposite person's lens, because everybody's looking at things differently. So there's not just one way to analyze the market. You always have to look at the way that you're analyzing it and then look at like what are the opportunities or what are the possibilities of it not working. That's why for me here, I have the gap here marked up. And I'm like, okay, if this here bounces off here, perfect. The price can come up and provide an opportunity for my buy entry. However, if price invalidates this and comes below, then my buy entry may never get filled, right? If that's the case, I'll just be looking for the next opportunity there. So I'll look for price to break below, and then establish a new high, and then for me to look for an entry from there. So that's how I market liquidity. Um, your next question over here from Alad is, can you explain imbalance? Yeah, so imbalance is basically when you see price kind of gap above, right? When it pushes up so high with no retracement. So for example, over here, see how we have this big green candle? The imbalance is going to be the difference between the previous candle over here, this wick, and this bottom wick right here. Some people call it fair value gaps. I just call it imbalance. It's the same thing. It just depends on like what you want to call it. Same thing right here. Price pushed up on this candle. It wasn't a huge candle like this one, but it's still pretty big, right? So the gap that happened between here was from this wick to this body. And that's why I was mentioning that there was an imbalance here. The thing here is that there was two imbalances. So you want to go for the most nearest imbalance because you don't care about what's happened prior. And the most nearest imbalance is right here. See how these are four green candles? So initially there was an initial imbalance right here, but their price pushed it even higher. So in this situation right here, there was another imbalance. So basically there's two imbalances. So if you want to mark on both, I mean, you can, but realistically, you just want to focus on what's earlier, which is going to be this one right here. So price is currently in the imbalance, and you're looking for a close, right? You're looking for price to either close above it so that it can continue climbing higher from here, or you're looking for price to close below the imbalance so that it can invalidate it and come back lower to this point. But you can see here price is sitting. This isn't a random area where price is sitting. There's an imbalance right there. So it's the same thing that happened over here. Price pushed up. We had the imbalance sideways and it shot up. I'm expecting the same thing here. I'm looking for price to sit in the imbalance and eventually push right back up, right? So if that becomes the case and price does push up from here, my entry is going to be right here at 45,236. Again, I'm going to be looking for another opportunity here for a high-low break and retest. We do not have that opportunity yet, but the next price point here for entry is going to be at 45,236. So everything that I do and everything that I analyze on the charts, guys, it's all logical, right? I'm not looking at random stuff. I'm not saying, oh, price is just sitting in this area and it's going to push up. I have structure here. I have an imbalance right here, and I'm looking for price to push up to my upper structure, retest this area, and continue to the upside. So just make sure that when you guys are analyzing the market, there's like actual reasoning behind it. You're not just like, oh, price is ranging right here, or price is consolidating. Like, why is price ranging or consolidating right here, right? My reasoning is that price is in the imbalance. Price doesn't range or consolidate in random areas, right? There's always a reason why price is in a certain area. You just have to find out what that reason is. That's why I have so many tools here, because I look at things from a lot of different perspectives, not just one perspective of a bullish continuation. I look at things from a range, sideways, downwards market, manipulation, all that stuff. The thing is, there's no news for today right now, so that's why I'm not expecting too much manipulation here. I'm looking for a continuation which is going to be smooth and and um and for us to follow through with it. Because when there's news happening, then you get a lot of random movements, random spikes. Right now, price is moving pretty smoothly. It's moving smoothly, but it's moving kind of slow. The ATR is currently at 20 right now. So just a matter of time here until it picks back up. Or it might just stay low. Nice work, Rashid, on taking the levels earlier. It looks like you might have taken it down here. Your message was at 703. So I'm assuming you took the levels right here at the 45,150, right before that price spike right there. Or you might have taken it up here too. Either way, good entry on that one. All right, so nothing else here right now. We are continuing to wait for opportunity here. We have a new high here, guys. So unfortunately, this high here has been invalidated. No longer opportunity there for entry unless price pushes up higher from here, and we still have price if this here hasn't established. Because right now it's not established. So if price pushes up higher from here, this lower high is just this label is going to disappear and it's going to get pushed up higher and higher and higher. So we're back in a new consolidation range right here. Yeah, and again here is just consolidating sideways. So we'll see if it breaks past this area. We still have opportunity here. Only downside here is the low volatility, like I mentioned. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here shortly. All right, we got price climbing up. It's a slow climb, but still waiting for that climb right there. So let's see if this here ends up pushing up higher. The ATR is getting lower, but the overall direction is still very bullish, guys. So let's take a look again. Let's just do another full market scan of like everything here. My market structure is very bullish here across the board. 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour. Everything here is pretty much bullish. Looking over here at the overall trend, still bullish as well. Bullish on the 1, 5, 15. Lower time frames are bullish. Higher time frames, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, all bullish as well. So we have price pushing up right here. Again, this could be a possible opportunity for a high-low break and retest. I'm looking for price to break past this number right here, 45,236. If we do get a break and close past this area, I'd look for a possible retest of that level and continuation up higher. So like I said earlier, this lower high is still pushing up. So as long as it pushes up and we don't establish a new low, then this here is still open game for entry. But here's the thing, if this here ends up stalling and it comes back down and we have a new low, then this here is no longer going to be useful for us. All right, I'm still looking for a bullish push here. Again, looking for it to break and past this area here, 45,236. 45,236 here. We got about 10 seconds left on this candle. No push up yet. Ideally, I'd like to see some nice volatility to the upside, but nothing there yet. All right, so this is where it's going to be a little tricky because if we get a new low here, like I said, this here is going to be invalidated. Plus the volatility here is a little slow as well. Market's starting to slow down quite a bit. The ATR is currently at 19. We'll see here if it picks up back to 20 or if it stays at 19 or drops lower. So, all right, we might have opportunity coming up here soon. Price is pushing up to that high. It's just the market volatility here is very, very slow now. So, I'm looking for it to break and close past this blue line, 45,236. We might have opportunity right here. It's got to actually close above it. So if it keeps bouncing around this area, I'm not going to take it. It has to close above it for sure. No entry there. So still no close. Again, looking for that there to break and close past it, retest, and continuation up higher. But it's got to close above it. Like it has to close. It can't keep bouncing off this area. I don't like when price keeps coming up here. Rejection, 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 right? The more tests that it has, the weaker the structure. So still no opportunity there yet. I need some volatility here. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds left. It's not looking like it's going to push above it. And again, it's going to sit below it right here. So sitting below it again, I need some volatility here. Like I need this to actually push above strong enough, retrace, continuation up higher. Keeps testing this area. I'm just going to invalidate it myself and just not even take a look at it. Again, right here, if this doesn't happen within the next minute or so, then I'm just going to leave it as is. Because what's going to happen here, what I see is price is just going to continue ranging within this area. This is why I try to take trades before 7 o'clock, right? Because you can see over here, I'll mark up 7 o'clock. See how the market volatility here starts to flatten out a bit? Price pushes up, then it just gets pretty flat. So I try to get in before 7 o'clock. If I can't get in before 7 o'clock, I try to get in before 7:30. 7:30, usually the market gets really flat. All right, so nothing there yet. Again, so still nothing here. It's not looking like I'm gonna get an entry here at this point. Volatility is too low. All right, nothing there. Let's see. Simon is asking, let's say it's CPI day. Do you still look for trades the same day? Or are you conservative that day? I still look for trades. I trade every day. I've been trading every day pretty much Monday through Friday for the past 8 years. So it doesn't matter what the news event is. The thing with CPI is that it happens at 5:30, market opens up at 6:30. So there's already going to be a gap between that time period. And usually from there, price will either continue in the direction of CPI or whatever news data is there, or it's going to pull back for retracement, right? So yeah, it doesn't matter what news day it is, I'm still trading. All the big four news days, NFP, CPI, PPI, interest rate, Fed day, doesn't matter. I'm still trading those days. I'm a little more conservative if the news is like around 7 o'clock, right? If it's a different news event that follows up, like CPI happens pre-market, so it doesn't really affect me too much. But depending on like what's happening that day, like if Powell is speaking that day, then I'm going to be more conservative. Like say for example, CPI comes out at 5:30, Powell's talking at 7, day like that, I'll still look for entries, but I'm going to be a little more conservative, like you said. So yeah, the news events don't they don't prevent me from taking entries. I still take entries regardless of the fact. The breakouts might be a little more tricky. So like in a situation like that, I might not take the breakout for that day because, market open, you're going to have some manipulation based off whatever the news was. But for the most part, the continuation entries, like what I'm looking at here, I'm still looking for those entries regardless. So they don't really affect my analysis. I've been trading live for the past, I guess, 8 or 9 years now. So I've experienced trading those days. So I understand like how market moves like that. Pre-market, of course, is crazy. Some people do trade news. I used to trade news before, but I've learned that it's just a gamble, right? The only time I would trade news is if I'm trying to pass evals, but I'm funded on all my accounts already, so I don't need to pass the evals. There's a little trick that you can do that we used to do a lot. Like that's how I got my first 300K accounts funded. I would trade news like CPI or NFP are like the biggest days, right? Because those are like that's where you have the big price spikes. What I would do, and I don't recommend you do this, but it was an easy way to get funded is I would take trades in both directions. I'd buy 20 accounts or I'd buy 20 accounts to take buys on, 20 accounts to take sells on, and then I would just hedge it. So as soon as market would release the news, I would take 20 of my accounts were buys, 20 accounts were sells, and then whichever market went in that direction, I would pass 20 accounts automatically. So that's the only time I would trade news. For my normal market and normal accounts, I don't trade news at all. I wait to see the reaction, but I don't trade news directly. So it's a little trick for those of you that might want to or might need to pass your accounts. I mean, specifically Apex because it's so cheap, but not one that I would highly recommend. All right, guys. So we have a new higher high right here. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. We have a new lower higher low right there. I don't like the price action here. This is too slow for me. Right, this is too slow for me. So if you guys want to take an entry here, the next opportunity for entry is going to be at this 45,239. But I don't like this sideways move right here. Sideways move is not for me. If you are looking for sideways moves, then obviously you'd probably look for some sweeps or V1 variations. Mainly for buys here. I would mainly just look for the buys. Let's see, Rev over here, unfortunately, yeah, he took the MPS V2 and he ended up not surviving the strong pullback right here. It's all good, Rev. It happens. Um, the MPSV2s are a little trickier on this area because we're in this consolidation. That's why for me, I'm like really waiting for confirmation when price actually breaks past these areas. Or I'm looking for some volatility. So there's a possible high-low break and retest right here, guys, at 44, 45, 239. I'm not looking to take it because, like I said, it's just the volatility is too low for me. The last thing I want to do is get caught in this position and I just end up holding on to it sideways for a bit. Pretty much what happened with Rev with the MPSV2. Okay, so there's an opportunity right here, guys. It has to fill on this candle. If it doesn't fill on this candle, there's no entry. But like I just said, I don't like the volatility here, guys. It's too slow. Plus the ATR is currently at 16.17. So if you do get into this position here, I would probably follow it and trail your stop. Um, because the thing here is like 40 points is it's a long way to go during a slow market. So this here still has not filled, guys. This broken close past the this higher high right here at 44 or 239. It has to fill on this candle, right? This candle has to come down and fill it. If it doesn't fill it, then you have to cancel the order. This candle has 18 seconds left on it. So unfortunately, there's a lot of entries here that are coming up. They're just not filling. So we got 7 seconds left. I would just cancel your order, guys. Does not look like it's going to come down and fill it. We got 3 seconds left, no fill. So unfortunately, this entry over here did not fill. Price broke and closed above it. Never came back for the retest, which is the pattern that we were looking for there. So we're looking for this break and retest, continuation to the upside. But unfortunately, no retest there. So no entry. The entry would have to be canceled. And here we go as price establishes a new range. New range right here down the middle. So we have another imbalance here, small imbalance, not a big one, but nonetheless, it's another imbalance. A new structure right here. All right, so we have a new support right here, and then we have the imbalance, which is right here. Price pretty much retested the imbalance. It's between this wick right here and this body. It's not a strong imbalance, but it's still considered an imbalance there. Retest of that. All right, we will continue to wait for the next opportunity here, guys. If there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. This is a great time to ask questions because market's kind of slow. I don't really see any entries here, but I'm still focused. So if I see something good, I'll take it. But again, we're stuck in this market here where price is kind of just going into this choppiness. So I'm not really looking, or I'm not really getting any opportunities for entry. Yeah, just not see anything here. All right, this high here has been pushed up higher. So this high here was, there was a high here that had marked up. This here was mitigated. It's now pushed up higher right there. So there's a new high. So the retest of the imbalance there pretty much played out nice. Again, the entry here did not fill for my high-low break and retest, but it looks like it's still technically running right now. There was a higher high here, which I was looking for that high-low break and retest. Fortunately, did not fill. So not in the position, but analysis here is still playing out pretty nicely. Everything's still very bullish. Trend's very bullish. So here's the thing. This is where it becomes a problem. Everything here is very bullish, so you want to refrain from chasing the bulls, right? Like here, I know it's easy to just take a buy here and get lucky or like get FOMO to get into a buy here. But the thing that you want to be careful for is that eventually this here is going to come down, right? What comes up must come down at some point. And right now, this thing's pushed up for so long that a strong retracement hasn't really happened yet, right? This thing's pushed about 250 points from market open. Market opened up right here, 630. Strong bullish push for the entire day. But yeah, this is a perfect retest of the imbalance. Price broke past the area. The imbalance happened right here. Strong break and retest from that point. I'll just clean that up a little bit so we have room here to look. I guess I could leave the imbalance there for now because it's still not, it hasn't been mitigated. All right, we got price here at this new higher high. I don't know if anybody's looking to take sweeps from the high area up here. I think it'd be tricky to take sweeps. I mean, it can happen and it can work, but it would be very tricky, of course. Because the bullish move here is not the bullish move here is not confirmed. All right, 1 second. All right. So still nothing here, guys. Price is pushing up higher. The high here has not established, so every time I put a high here, it just gets pushed up higher. The good thing about today is that the analysis here was pretty spot on. Everything here that I marked up and then we identified and we looked for was spot on, right? Overall bullish bias, overall market bias for the day, bullish. Like this is pretty spot on right here. The upwards drift with potential chops, that's literally been happening all day today. Price reaches an area of imbalance and then it kind of chops up around that area and then it just continues drifting to the upside. Overall trend here, very bullish. I mean, this thing's too bullish now. At this point, I would be very careful. I think we're at an all-time high or we're getting close to it. I think this is the all-time high right here, 45,371. Yeah, I'd be really careful about chasing these buys here. So we're getting close to that all-time high level. Let's see, Sam's looking for a sweep up here. I mean, there's levels of liquidity, so yes, there could be a sweep at any of these points here. The thing that I'd be careful for is this is the all-time high, I believe. 45,730 or 45,371. So I mean, that could be a sweep level, or it can just be a continuation to the upside. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. This is like the perfect day to ask me questions because the market here is just not providing any opportunities for entry. Price is bullish and the analysis is playing through exactly what we anticipated, but there's nothing for me to specifically take here. I mean, obviously I would like to take something, but it doesn't, nothing here really meets my criteria. So not looking to take anything here just yet. All right, we're currently in this order block resistance right now. This is an old order block resistance right here. So let me go back over here. This was established way over here. Way over here. See this? I have a separate chart here, so this is why I was able to identify it. I have a separate chart in a higher time frame. But we had a resistance slash order block, which was established right here on August 15th, last Friday. And price is now, it's rejecting off that order block slash resistance. So if I go on the 5 minute, you can see it a little better here. Let me zoom out. See right there. I guess 10 minute maybe easier. Okay, so see this right here, guys? We had this resistance order block established from Friday last week, and it is retesting it right here. So this could be the possible sweep area that Sam could have been looking for because it aligned with last week's structure. Could have been taken right here at the extreme. Nice. Okay, yeah, Sam took it. Took that and booked 25 on that trade. Nice work, Sam. So you caught a sweep right there off that extreme high. 25 solid. The ATR is pretty low right now, so that'd be a solid sweep right there. So for a lot of you guys here who are new, the sweeps, I color them with a blue TP stop loss. So whenever they have a blue TP stop loss like this is indicated as a sweep. So basically a sideways strategy setup. And if it's marked up in green like this is a directional or breakout setup. Haven't had anything else here come up yet, but that's kind of the criteria. Kim said in January it was at 45,800. Let me check. Because I swear this is like the all-time high. I could be wrong. I mean, don't quote me on it. It looks like, so January. So it looks like over here, Kim, the highest that I see it is the highest that I got in January from, and this is just from what I see right here. Highest I see it over here was at 45,227. So I'm not sure if you're trading the indice, then you might see different prices. Were you looking at US 30? Because if you're looking at US 30, that's a CFD, it's a made up price. So it's not it mirrors the movement, but it's not the same price. But this is the future. So this is like the actual price of the Dow. Um, so yeah, were you looking at a different asset, like maybe US 30 or I mean I guess something else? Because for YM, I think the highest that I've seen is 45, like I mean this is as high as I can see right here, 45 227. And let's just go over a little further. So Maria said the all-time high is 45,885. I don't see anything over here with price ever getting that high. Yeah, I don't have anything here. I mean the highest I've seen price ever go is 45,376. So I'm not sure. If you guys are looking at US 30, that's not an actual asset, that's CFD. So let's go over here and let's take a look at it real quick. So we'll say US 30. Yeah, because I'm looking over here at US 30. I also don't see it that high. Highest I see it is at 45, 265. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So Kim's looking at MYM. MYM is not the actual, it's the asset, but that's the micro. So like, price is going to be different on MYM. So yeah, they don't base it off MYM, they base it off YM because YM is a standard contract. This is like the actual contract that's followed. So this is the actual high for YM or Dow or whatever it may be. So Yeah, I'm not sure where yours is, Maria, because I don't, you said January 31st. So January 31st right here. Yeah, the highest point, so I'm looking at it right here. It's in front of me. So this is January 31st, right? The highest point of January 31st was at, oops. So I'm going to measure right here at the very high. It's at 45,227. So this wouldn't be considered the high from there. Or, I mean, this would be considered the high from what I see. I'm not sure where you're getting that number from, Maria. See, so Maria was looking at 45,885. Interesting. Okay, so you're on the 2 hour chart. Here, I'll check that. Let me just go there real quick. And there's no entries right now, guys, so don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything. Let's see, Maria was looking on the 2 hour chart. Let's go back to January again. Yeah, I don't know why does yours show that, Maria, because there's nothing. I'm here on the 2 hour chart just like yours, the one that you shared. And right here on the 31st, price never goes that high. Like I have no idea why yours looks so spread out like that. We're on the same chart too. I'm at YM too. Yeah, the highest that price has gone on the 31st was 45,227. Same thing as the daily. Yeah, I'm not sure. No idea why yours looks like that. Everyone else there confirms mine too. We all have the same price, same date. So I'm not sure why yours looks like that. Maria does have a screenshot. I'm not sure why hers shows so high up because I've never seen it go that high. Yeah, but hers here, she has it at, I don't know if it's because of your candle type or I don't know. But yeah, yours over here for whatever reason. Um, yeah, we're on the same thing too. So it's weird. Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever the case may be, I mean, a high is a high, whatever. It doesn't stop us from taking more buys, right? But for me, that's the highest point that I can see on my chart. Yeah, that is unusual though. All right, so let's see. Let me go back to my analysis here, guys. Let me clean this up a little bit. So this imbalance here is invalidated. It's been mitigated. Prices closed below it, so I'm gonna take that off. We still have structure right here. There's not really too much of an imbalance now. I mean, there's another imbalance that could be marked up from here, a small one, but it's not super relevant. Like we want a bigger imbalance. So right here, price is kind of just ranging back and forth at the moment. Ranging back and forth. Let's see. Rev said that he sees YM at 46,285. Dang, it's like we all have kind of different numbers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter too much where the all-time high is because it doesn't really dictate my entries. But yeah, we all kind of have different numbers. For me, this is just kind of what I see on TradingView. I'm just saying what I see on the chart. I'm not saying that anybody else is right or wrong. But yeah, just the only thing that's the important thing here is that we're getting close to the all-time high. I think we could all agree to that, right? We're getting close to the all-time high, and that's just going to be an area of manipulation. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Everyone, I don't know how. I'm still confused how Maria got this like on her chart because that was super far off. But It's all good. But yeah, Kim, pricing difference here. Let me show you guys over here. Let me put this next to it. So this is why it's kind of hard to like if you're trading the micro, it's going to be really hard for you to copy the same trades because the price isn't going to be the same, right? So if you look over here, the standard contract, which is YM, this is why this is the leading contract to follow or asset because it's the standard contract, not the micro. But you can see over here, so currently, well, price is about the same. It's not even that different, surprisingly. Yeah, like right now they're very close in line with each other. But I think the difference here with MYM is that the fact that it rolls over. So let's just go over here real quick. I'll maximize MYM. I know there's some confusion there, but let's see. Does this line up with it, the 3 o'clock candle? I'm just kind of curious to see if that big spike there happened over here as well. Yeah, it did. Okay. So let's just check MYM real quick because that's what Kim is using. There's no problem with using MYM. It's just the pricing is going to be different. And because it's micro, it's not the one that's considered leading. Wait, it's weird here because the same thing for mine is that I see here that it's also so my high point. This is my all-time high for MYM. Oops. Yeah, so for MYM, my high price is 45,363. Is that the same price Kim had? Let's see. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know why, but Kim has the same thing as Maria. So she can see 45,800s. My high point right here is at 45,363. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, I wish I could have an explanation for you guys, but I just don't. It's just for some reason on some people's charts it shows that it's like way higher than it does on mine. It's all good. It's irrelevant for the most part. You guys will probably just have a higher liquidity level when it comes down to it. But usually, yeah, MYM and YM are they're like slightly off by pricing. It might even be by the contract. So it depends on which contract you guys are on. The thing with Maria's screenshot is that she's on the continuous, so it's super unusual that she had a very high price for all-time high versus mine, and we're on the same exact contract. All right, guys, price is coming down for a little. I mean, so this is doing exactly what we talked about earlier, right? I said whatever comes up must come down at some point, and that's exactly what's happening here. So price is starting to slump down to the below over here, and as it slumps down like that, we're getting more and more opportunities for price to either reverse back up or continue down lower. What I'm looking at here is that we have a possible gap setting up here. So I'll mark up this gap as price confirmed. So now we have a imbalance right here, right? So this here is another imbalance. It's pretty interesting because this imbalance lined up with this structure here. So that being the case, I think this is a strong imbalance. What you might see here is price may come back up, retrace, reject off this, and come back lower. That's going to be one scenario. The other scenario is price comes up, mitigates this imbalance, and corrects back to the upside. Well, all right, guys, it is currently 7:50 right now. We have about 10 minutes till 8 o'clock. My cutoff for trading is 8 o'clock. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I'll answer whatever you guys need help with. Unfortunately for me today, although we did have a very strong bullish market and my analysis here lined up with my daily bias for the day, there just wasn't any entries for me. I looked for entries you guys saw here on the live. I just didn't get any fills. So unfortunately, no retest on my end. But the market did play out like we anticipated. So earlier this morning, I mentioned that I was going to have a bullish outlook and I was only going to look for buys because my market structure here was very bullish. My trend was very bullish overall. And then my daily outlook for the day using AI was also bullish. So with that being the case, I was mainly only looking for buys here, but unfortunately, there just wasn't any entries for me to take per se. So with that said, I mean, these are my stats for the month so far. I'm currently on a win streak for August. I took one trade on the first, one trade on the fifth, one trade on the 12th. I'm currently up 124,300 for the month. I'm currently flat for the week. So right here, today's the 19th. Haven't taken a trade yesterday, didn't take a trade today. I'm flat for the week, pretty much zero. But I'm happy with my stats for the month so far. So, being conservative and being able to follow through with my trading plan has been very, very ideal, and it's been very, very rewarding because I mean, obviously you guys can see my profits here. This is a very stress-free month for me because I've been taking only trades that fit my criteria, and I'm not forcing any trades here, so I'm not really stressed out with the entries that I'm taking. So, the key thing here, guys, is to trade confidently and trade your trading plan, right? Don't go off your trading plan. Stick to what you plan to take and stick to what you anticipated for the day. Don't hop into something here just because you feel that you need to take a trade, right? I can't remind you guys enough. Like that's the worst part for with trading. It's like getting FOMO and then feeling that you need to force a trade for the day, right? I'm getting an itch to take a trade today too, but I'm just not feeling the market right now, and there's no entries for me to take regardless. So, I mean, if I was to take an entry here, I would still look for buys. My bias here is still very bullish, even though we're getting a strong retracement right now. Overall market structure here is very bullish on the 5 minute, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, mainly looking for buys at that point. And then also looking over here at the overall trend, it's still pretty bullish for the most part as well. The only time frame here that's shift to bearish is the 1 minute. It's not even confirmed yet. Price was bullish here, it came back below the pivots. Trend meter just turned red right now, but if it swings back up, this can easily shift back to green, right? So what I would say here is, I mean, look for a correction back up. Once you have that correction back to the upside, then okay, maybe start looking for opportunities there. But don't force anything. Just because you see price pushing up, that doesn't mean okay, it's time to enter buys. Make sure that you have some sort of catalyst, some sort of entry that's or setup that's telling you to take a buy here. Like right here, I can see a sweep happening off this structure. If you want to take a buy position off the sweep, then okay, great. Take that there. But just make sure that you have some sort of reasoning behind your entries there. You're not just taking a random buy here because you're like, okay, price has to bounce off this area, which it doesn't necessarily have to. But all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It is 7:45 right now, or 7:54. Sorry, dyslexic with that. We have about 6 minutes till 8 o'clock. I'm not expecting much to happen here. Price is retesting the imbalance. So this is the imbalance that I marked up earlier, guys. There's two different scenarios here that may happen. Price is either going to retest this area and come back down, or price is going to invalidate this imbalance and then climb back up. Two different things here, but this is going to be a key area to watch because this is the imbalance that we talked about. So yes, there's an imbalance there. Let's see. Sam said, thanks, Sean, for today. I actually banked a lot. 90, 25, 25, 25, 20. Nice, Sam. Nice work. So yeah, Sam banked some pretty good profits for today. He pretty much took a lot of these sweeps here that came up. Took the continuations. Okay, 80, yeah. No, that's still pretty good. Sam locked in about like one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, about five entries for the day, five wins. So solid work on that right there, Sam. I wish I could have been on that boat with you, at least with one entry, but there just wasn't anything here. So let's just go back and take a look for today. So again, we had a high-low break and retest that happened right here, or there was no retest. Price broke past this high, but it never came back to retest, right? So unfortunately, there was no entry there for me. Again, right here, price broke past this high again right here, but same thing, never came back for the retest. It retested on this following candle, but not on the first candle. So there's no entry there for me. And that was about it. I mean, there was two different entries here that I was looking for, right there and right there. Unfortunately, there just wasn't a retest, so I couldn't get into the position, but that was what I was looking for at that point. We have price over here kind of rejecting off the imbalance. So again, this is a key area to look at. Look to see if price bounces off this here to the downside, or if price mitigates this area and continues climbing up higher. But all right, guys, I think this is going to be it for the day. Let me see if there's any other questions. I think that's it for the questions. So, unfortunately, guys, today was very bullish. Analysis here lined up perfectly, but there just was no opportunities for entry. Again, don't force any entries here, guys. Only take them if they meet your criteria. Let me again show you guys my playbook. If you guys are new here and you guys want to learn these strategies or learn my indicators and my tools or whatever I'm doing here, just go down to the description below. There's a free trading course. My entire course is completely free, guys. If you guys want access to my course here, it's completely free. I don't really teach anymore. I only teach mutual friends or like certain people that ask. Like right now, I'm mentoring like two people, but they're only because they're mutual friends. I'm not necessarily mentoring the public as much. But if you guys do want to see my course here, or everything explaining my tools, my indicators, my strategies, etc., this is all available for free. I'm mainly focused on working on the hedge fund right now, so I'm not really teaching newcomers. I mean, if you guys want to learn, I'm here to teach you guys, but I'm not like putting myself out there to mentor people. Um, Eventually, at some point, once time frees up, I will probably mentor again at some point. But if you guys want to learn this stuff, I mean, feel free to hop onto the course or the website. Website's CodyKaiTrades.com. Click on unlock your free access right here. I just made everything completely free at this point, aside from the live sessions, but the course here is pretty much free to look at if you want to understand the tools, the strategies, etc., so that you can follow closely here on the live sessions. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for right now, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think I'm going to be done for right now. It's going to be 8 o'clock in a few. So here, I'm just going to give you guys a quick little rundown. Right now, we have price rejecting off the imbalance. So with that being said, you guys might be able to look for opportunities to the downside. If you want to look for an opportunity here, you can look for price to break and close past this lower low, retest and come down lower, or you can look for a high low break and retest at some levels down here. But with that being said, I mean, I would probably not go against the trend, but if you are looking to get in a quick entry, that's probably be the first thing to look at. But all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session.